I was a bit nervous as two students looked up at me from behind their desk. They asked me, "Ines, can you help us with making this regression work in Minitab?" It was my first class as a student assistant and I was expected to help them and to know the answer. But I had only used Minitab once while preparing for this first lecture. And you know what happened? To my surprise, I discovered that Minitab is very easy to use and I was able to help these students just by intuitively using the interfaces of Minitab. Minitab is a statistical software package that we will use throughout all the videos. In this video, I will therefore introduce Minitab. So, why do I use Minitab and not any other software package? Well, most importantly because it is so easy to use. Second, it can execute all statistical calculations that I will teach you. Also, it matches excellently with Lean Six Sigma. Finally, it is the industry-wide standard. So, when do you use Minitab? It can be used to execute statistical calculations. So, we will use Minitab for applying statistical tools to data. Note that storing and manipulating data is a lot easier in a program like Excel. Throughout the videos, you will be given Excel files with data, which you can copy and paste into Minitab for analysis. So, let's see how that works. So, how to get your data into Minitab. Throughout, you will see these blocks. They show you the data we are going to use and where to find it. The Excel file is called datafiles.da_lss.xls. Here, DA stands for Data Analytics and LSS stands for Lean Six Sigma. In this file, go to the datasheet investigation time. If you have trouble finding the Excel file or finding the specific data file, see this video. This first Minitab exercise will be about copy and pasting data into Minitab. I will also show you the basics of Minitab. We are going to use this dataset on investigation times. The data looks like this. We discussed this dataset in the video on organizing your data. Now, pause the video, open the Excel file and look up the investigation time datasheet. This is what the investigation time data looks like. Now select all the data, including the header. So select case number. With Ctrl and Shift and with the arrow to the right and to the bottom, we can immediately select all our data. Now you can copy the data with Ctrl+C or with the copy button. Let's have a look at Minitab. Open up your Minitab and you should get something that looks like this. Minitab has two windows, basically the session window, which will show you all the output and all the results, and you have your worksheet, which will have all your data in it. So you go to this cell, which is where the header should be, and with Ctrl+V, or you can go to the paste button over here, we can paste our data from Excel into Minitab. You see that all the headers are in this row, and all the data starts from this cell on. Do you see that here you have C1T, which basically means that is a text variable or a categorical variable. Here we have no T, which means it's a numeric variable. Okay, let's have a look at the different files and tabs that Minitab has. Under the tab File, you can open a new worksheet. We can save our project, which is everything, so all the analyses that you did and your data. You can also only save your data, but you have that already in Excel. If you go to Edit menu, you can edit some cells individually, and under Data, you can edit the worksheet. So you can make a subset of your worksheet or split your worksheet into two if you like. We will also use Stack, which is used to stack columns, later on, not yet now. And you can also change the data type if a variable is numeric but has to be text or the other way around. Under Calculator, under Calc you have the calculator, which can be used to add up columns or divide columns or things that you can also do in Excel. A very useful tool is also the random data, which we can use to generate random data. The Stat menu will be the menu that we will use most because it has all the statistical analysis techniques there. Under Graph, we can make graphs, And just to show you how the output looks, let me make a little histogram for now. You choose simple. Okay. And we'll make a histogram of the total time. And if you double click it, it will show up here the graph variables. In the video of visualizing numeric data, I will discuss the histogram more thoroughly. Okay. And Minitab now makes you a histogram. And you see it's opened in a separate window. So we have our histogram in a separate window, and all the graphs will do that. And you have your session window where your output is. So that's the histogram that was made, and you have the worksheet where your data is. A very useful function is when you go to Window, then here in the bottom it will show you everything that's open. So now we lost our histogram, but here if you want to see your histogram, you click on it and it will reappear again. Well, that's the basics of Minitab, and we'll see a lot more of it in all the other videos.